Are Mike's live then?
No, they're live right now.
And 22 TVs, there's no chance you're going to miss a single game. Sports, music, great food and drinks. What more do you need? Birdies remind you to always have fun and be kind.
Yeah, so
those mics are live, so we can't.
We all get along. It's not like something that I try to call every single time.
It'd be nice to see that.
That doesn't exist. Won't always be that way, so I'm going to cherish these days while they last.
That's
That I understand.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, he's
The Exeter Eagles pregame show on the Exeter Sports Network, sponsored by Ole Valley Feeds. We'll have all the action between your Exeter Eagles and the Governor Mifflin Mustangs at the top of the hour. After these messages, you're listening to the Exeter Sports Network on Jerry Gelliff Media.
Well, that was good.
I am absolutely going to step on this at some point.
Stadium for this evening's game between our own Governor Mifflin Mustangs and the Eagles of Exeter. The Mustangs are coached by Mr. Jeff Lang. The Eagles by Mr. Matt Bauer.
Sponsored by.
The starting lineups for the Eagles.
Pregame show sponsored by.
I said
On
it.
offense,
Oh, you did?
left
Yeah.
tackle, 77.
I should listen.
Ryan McConnell. Lucas Palange is the left guard, number 55.
It's Jonathan, by the way.
Matthew McConnell. 65 is the center, the right guard.
Gripped while they we're coming to you live. Welcome, Shillington, Pennsylvania, the grounds of Governor Mifflin Senior High School for tonight's Lancaster Lebanon Section 2 Exeter Eagles Conference opener against the Governor Mifflin Mustangs. Along with my broadcast partner Ryan Lineweaver, I'm Darren Ziner. Ryan, here we are. Conference season begins tonight for the Exeter Eagles, coming off 3, albeit expected tune-up non-conference wins thus far. Coach Bauer knows they need to clean up a few things if they expect to keep the win streak intact.
Yeah, maybe not so much the first game, the 35-0 win over Daniel Boone, but certainly 2 weeks ago we saw them lead Boyertown 37-0, insert some second-teamers, and as to be expected, they gave up some points there in the second half as they started, throwing in some of the backups. And then last week we saw them escape with a 35-0 victory. It didn't really feel like it after watching that first quarter, but they went into halftime up 21-0. But a large part of that is because that first quarter was just a little bit of a train wreck as they turned the ball over at least twice, once failing on a fourth down attempt, trying to hand the ball up the middle to Richie Karstein from a couple yards out. That one failed. And then they hit Zandier for a 40-yard pass play that he ended up fumbling inside the 5. So the offense was still clicking, but unfortunately some major things to clean up. Again, we talked last week about how that could potentially hurt them later on in the season. This is certainly one of those games where mistakes like that, especially early on, could doom them for the rest of the game.
That's right. And Ryan, you mentioned last week's win over West York. Exeter, they got out of the gate quickly. There was the 50-yard pass to Joey Schlaffer that took him to the 10-yard line. That's right. And as you mentioned, they had a tough time once they got inside the 5 as far as punching it across. they had to wait until 7:44 of the second quarter. They were gifted with a double personal foul penalty, gave them 30 yards. And as I mentioned, that touchdown, a 12-yard run by Pharrell Caceres, and Ryan, that jump-started the offense.
Yeah, and they got very lucky with the extra 30 yards there. But again, the offense was chugging along, and they did a fine job in that first quarter, albeit unable to hit pay dirt on a handful of occasions. But that second quarter, finally, we talked early on about how that could potentially be a trap game, that their eyes are focused on the Mustangs and maybe not paying as much attention to an 0-2 West York team as they maybe should have. That got fixed in the second quarter, and then they ended up rolling the rest of the way.
That's right. The Eagles would go into halftime, a 21-0 lead, 34-yard TD catch, Joey Schlaffer at the 5:11 mark, and a 3-and-out by the defense. Of course, they've been playing strong all year long. The scoring ends a 5-yard TD run by Richie Karstein. It's 21-0 there at the half. And Ryan, as I mentioned, it got the offense rolling. 2 more touchdowns in the third quarter gives them the 35-0 victory, and they're able to, as you mentioned, something Coach Bauer learned when he pulled the starters a little too soon. He kept them in there, and ultimately, of course, a 35-0 win.
Yeah, I mean, certainly learning from their mistakes. That first-team defense has been absolutely lethal here in the early goings. The first 3 games, that first-team defense, as long as, everybody that is normally starting is in there, by my calculations, have yet to allow any points up on the scoreboard. It's only that second half against Boyertown that they kind of ran into some problems.
That's right. Richie Karstein ended the night 15 carries, 108 yards, 2 TDs. Pharrell Caceres added that 12-yarder, as we mentioned. And kudos again. We talk about the offensive line. They're the ones opening the holes for those running backs. The tackles, Ryan McConnell, Anthony Cachese. The guards, Lucas Palange, Kyle Lash, center Matthew McConnell. And we're going to be talking about them all season long. As that offensive line goes, so will Exeter.
Oh, most certainly. Again, we talk all the time about how much easier that offensive line makes things for your offense, and we saw that last year with Governor Mifflin. They had a very senior-laden offensive line. It made things a lot easier for Singleton to hit those gaps, hit those holes, and do what he does up at Penn State right now, with the reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week. So we saw what happened for Governor Mifflin last year, very similar to Exeter this year. You get behind the big guys, you have your big bruising rusher and Richie Karstein, just makes the rest of your offense so much easier.
Joey Schlaffer led the receivers last week, 107 yards on 3 catches and a TD. Zach Zandier added 2 catches for 63 yards. And Ryan, we talk about the running game. They've got a nice receiving option as well.
Well, they're also probably the tallest receiving option in Berks County as well. You have Schlaffer at 6'6", you have Zandier at 6'5". Again, you're able to make things easier for yourself. You have the big bruising rushing attack, and once you start sucking in that secondary that they're expecting to run, that's when you can hit them over the top. And sometimes you don't even need to wait, as we saw in that 50-yard pass play to start, and then we saw Zandier for 40 right there in the first quarter last week.
That's exactly right. We will return to Shillington after these commercial messages, or even commercial messages. It depends if you get cut off or not. You're listening to the Exeter Sports Network.
Thank you. You were too tonight.
And to start, you mentioned the first string defense hasn't allowed a point thus far once they've been in there. Last week, holding West York to 111 total yards, only 7 first downs. We're going to give kudos to the defensive line. The ends, Richie Karstein, Keegan Sneering, Sabatka. The tackles, Anthony Kachese, Kyle Lash. Linebackers, Jonathan Martin, Lucas Palange leading the charge. And that secondary, which has been strong. Nigel Meekins, Jovan Hollis, Adam Pinero, Nathan Pashley. We're going to give defense the love tonight, and Ryan, the defense does come to play.
Oh, they absolutely deserve it. They have 29 tackles for loss, 10 sacks to their credit. They're second in the Lancaster Lebanon League in total defense, allowing just 176 yards per game. Right now, Wyo playing tonight against Berks Catholic in the Backyard Bowl. They allow 133, so not too far off. But again, biggest part, bend, don't break, and certainly they have not broken at all, quite literally, this entire season.
Moving to Governor Mifflin, they're led by head coach Jeff Lang. They come into today's game 1-2 on the season after last week's 17-14 win over Boyertown. A Jackson Schools field goal with 29 seconds left averted an 0-3 start. They're led by quarterback Delson McNeil. He's completed 20 of 32 passes on the year, 220 yards,
Ladies and gentlemen,
and a TD. He's also run for 3 TDs. And we talk about Braden Reese and their other running back, Brandon Jones. Expect to see a lot of, or a heavy dose of running tonight.
It should be expected for Governor Mifflin. The Governor Mifflin head coach even said here in Mike Drago Sports.com, friend of the broadcast, Mike Drago, Jeff Lang, said they're literally playing the way that we want to play football. They're going to jam it down your throat, and when you can't stop the run, they're going to suck you in and put one over the top. They're playing the football that we're used to playing. So that's exactly what Governor Mifflin would love to do. They have Reese, and certainly he is their bell cow, taking over for Nick Singleton. He has 9 carries for 90 yards, a 50-yard touchdown run last week, averaging 8.7 yards a carry. Certainly the person that you need to key on in the backfield.
That's right. As we know, Governor Mifflin trying, or I don't think you can replace a Nick Singleton. They also had Eden Johnson, the quarterback. Nick and Eden were both two-way all-league picks, also running back Trey Rock. So they're a young team. They're looking to develop into a contender, and we'll see what they can do with a solid Exeter team tonight.
Yeah, so they were picked to finish third in Section 2, which I don't think is that outlandish because, again, we talked about them graduating a whole bunch of seniors last year, especially that offensive line. Can't not mention Nick Singleton. They graduated 9 all-league players from that 10-1 team a year ago. So you don't want to necessarily say rebuilding, but they squeaked past Boyertown. Exeter cruised past the Bears. And that kind of gives you some kind of barometer for what to look for, but you never really know what to look for with a Governor Mifflin Exeter game, as we found out in the district playoffs last year.
We've got the captains moving to midfield for the coin toss, the elusive coin toss that oftentimes we don't see even while we're watching what's going on the field.
I think we'll keep an eye on this one.
We might.
Not a coin toss, right?
Not a coin toss.
Like I said, it's a sign of brilliance.
So Kachese out there, Schlaffer, Lucas Palange,
Exeter
and Kyle Lash.
Exeter will receive the ball left or right on your radio dial. So
I feel really bad for EasternPAFootball.com because this is what you can come to expect here on Jerry Gelliff Media.
That's exactly right. So while we're waiting for the national anthem, which of course as I start, they'll go
and
into.
Welcome to tonight's game between the Exeter Eagles and the Governor Mifflin Mustangs. At this time, we ask that all of our fans please rise and direct your attention to the stadium bell. In his book, Courage is Calling, Ryan Holiday writes, "Just about the craziest, bravest thing you can do in this damned world of ours is to keep hoping, because there are so many reasons to do it. The pain, the failures, and the good guys who get punished. It's so easy to say, what's the point? But if we give up, if we stop hoping, we lose, because you can't win a battle or make a change that you've quit on. This evening, our hearts are heavy as we remember a man who fought the battle, a man who demonstrated the audacity of hope, a man who truly made a difference, Kyle Conrad. A 2001 graduate of Governor Mifflin, Kyle was a 1,000-point scorer who went on and played for Elizabethtown College, where he was named to the Commonwealth Conference first team in both 2004 and 2005. Following graduation, Kyle returned to Mifflin as the junior high basketball coach for the 2005-06 season. He then coached at Brandywine Heights for a few years, returning to Mifflin in 2014. Coach Conrad took over as varsity basketball coach in 2018. During the next 4 years, his teams amassed a 46-45 record. But it was the impact of this remarkable man for which he will be remembered, as evidenced recently by social media posts this past week. An underclassman who looked up to Kyle when he was in high school wrote, "Kyle was the guy we all looked up to in Governor Mifflin basketball. A fierce competitor, an absolute force on the court, and still remarkably reserved and humble along the way. You wanted to be that guy. He deserves a tribute from anyone that knew him, because people like Kyle don't come around too often. You'll be missed, and thanks for everything you gave us and your family while you were here, Coach." One of his former players writes, "Thank you for everything throughout my basketball career. My friends and I looked up to you as another father figure, and you were always there when we needed you. One of the most caring people I know. Rest easy, Coach." This evening, we are joined by Kyle's wife, Lauren, and their 2 sons, Logan and Carson. Kyle was a star thrower. He truly made a difference in the lives of those with whom he interacted and worked. Lauren, Logan, Carson, please know that the thoughts and prayers of the Governor Mifflin community are with and surround Team Conrad. Governor Mifflin Stadium bell is traditionally rung to signal the gathering of our communities and in memory of those who passed on, but whose spirits are ever with us. Lauren, will you now please toll the bell 5 times, once for each of the communities that collectively form Governor Mifflin. Lauren, would you now please ring our bell one more time, and I ask that our fans join me in a moment of silence in memory of Kyle. Team Conrad, forever. Please remain standing as the Governor Mifflin Senior High School Band performs the alma mater and the new arrangement sings the national anthem.
had a moment of silence in the stadium for the passing of Governor Mifflin head basketball coach Kyle Conrad, who lost a lengthy battle with cancer this week. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Kyle's family in addition to his Mustang family. Well, about a year ago, week 7 to be exact, Governor Mifflin came into the game against Exeter unbeaten, ranked number 1 in the state. They beat Exeter 54-21 that day. 50, well, today's a little bit different.
David O'Brien, the center,
Exeter comes
60.
in undefeated.
Right guard.
Governor Mifflin looking to catch their feeding.
Ethan Hoffman is the right tackle, the tight end.
Meet every single year. This is the first time that Governor Mifflin has had a losing record when it's faced Exeter since 2004.
21, halfbacks,
so
fullback.
We're talking 18
3,
years.
Brandon
Mustangs
Jones.
came in 0-3. They ended up coming away with a 7-3 Week 4 win that time around, and then sharing the Burke Section 1 title at the time.
Number 4, Tennant Harder, the wide receiver. 15.
Look forward to here for tonight's matchup.
18,
as
Jackson Parker.
going from right to
17,
left,
Nolan Morris.
wearing their road
30,
whites.
Travis Jenkins. And the
Mifflin
quarterback,
wearing their home
number
maroons
8,
with the gold
Delson
numbers.
McNeil.
Jackson Schools is going to put it in the air. He's putting the ball on the tee. Nathan Pashley deep for Exeter. He's got the okay from the referee. There's the whistle. He approaches the ball, and we are underway. It's a pooch kick. It'll come down at the 30. Jonathan Martin has it. He's taken down after 2 yards. And that's where Exeter will take over. First and 10 on the 32.
First and 10, Eagles.
Not quite sure what the intention was there. He
32-yard line.
seemed to give Exeter a few extra yards. So it wasn't really an onside kick. They just floated it right to about the 30-yard line where Martin just took it in, and that's where he ended up.
We'll see if that isn't a continuing deal as this game goes on. Maybe just trying to keep it away from Nathan Pashley, who is doing a nice job returning for Exeter. So Exeter comes out, Ratelli's in the gun.
Eagles.
Karstein sidecar right, single receivers left and right. Schlaffer in motion left to right, going behind Ratelli. He looks for him, pulls it down, rolling right. Now he just shot puts it out to Schlaffer, who makes the grab, gets out to about the 38-yard line. Maybe they'll give him 7 on it. It'll be 2nd and 3.
It looked like Rotelli might have wanted to pull it down to run.
Second down, and
attention focused on Schlaffer, first coming in motion, then floating out into the flat. But instead, he just waits for Schlaffer, almost kind of a wheel route there. He just floats it over the top of the defender for 7 yards.
Ratelli in the gun, hands it off to Karstein. He's trying to run right guard, gets through a hole, reaches forward. It's going to be enough for a first down. Take the ball out to the 43-yard line, and it's a first down for Exeter.
6, running back.
What did John Madden always say?
67
if
for
you
the
need
Mustangs.
3 yards, I can get you 3 yards. If you need 5 yards, I can get you 3 yards. Richie Karstein averages 7 yards, so ignore most of that. But he got done exactly what he needed to. First down, Exeter.
Exeter out of the huddle. Ratelli in the gun. He's got Karstein behind him. Schlaffer left. Carter Redding in motion right to left. A flag comes in before the snap.
Imagine against the Eagles for some type of either illegal procedure or a false start.
Full start.
Something that Exeter will have to look for. 22 penalties so far through 3 games.
Something to go back to. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up with that reception. Joey Schlaffer just now
First
one
and 15
shy of
on
the
the
program
Eagles.
record for
39-yard
receptions of
line.
95. So something to keep an eye on here in the early goings.
First and 15. Ratelli bobbles the snap. Tries to get around right end. A couple flags come in. We'll see if this isn't a face mask on Governor Mifflin.
Yeah, back where it's at, either a face mask or a hold.
Oh, they called hold. He went down pretty quickly. So it is a hold against Exeter.
Offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
So that one on Matt McConnell. Marching back 15 yards.
The ball ultimately ends up inside the 26, just outside the 25-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 28. Ratelli in the gun. Karstein behind him. 2 receivers right and left. There's the snap. Karstine running left. Not a whole lot there. They stack him up. Maybe a gain of 3. So it'll be second and
Ryan with a tackle.
We're seeing some miscommunication here between the quarterback and his center working out of the shotgun. That's the second time that, unfortunately, Rotelli has bobbled the football, and it led to kind of a poor handoff there in the backfield, something that they're going to need to continue to clean up.
That's right. The snaps have been a little high. Rotelli bobbled a couple of them, so you're right. They've got to get that down in order to get this offense going. So Rotelli comes out of the break. He's got sidecar right. That's genuine Stutzman. Karstine behind him. Actually, it's not. It's Brandt. Single receiver left is Schlaffer. Another bad snap. Rotelli rolling right. Has a lot of room. Manages to get out about the 41-yard line.
Number 4, Rotelli, around the right side.
Where it'll be 3rd and long.
15
Making
for the
the best of a
Mustangs.
bad situation there. Once again, Rotelli. And it's not even that it's that high of a snap. I'm just not sure if he's either not prepared for it or if he needs to, throw some stickum on his hands, because that's the 3rd straight snap that he's bobbled. Making the best of it. 12 yards down that right sideline makes it 3rd and 18.
Ball on their own 36-yard line. Exeter breaks the huddle. Rotelli in the gun. Karstine's behind him. Single receivers right and left. Here's the snap. He's got it. It's clean. He's looking left. There's nothing there. He gets through, scrambling, running left. The 45, the 50. He dives for the first down. We'll see where they mark it.
I think they're going to give it to him.
It absolutely does look like it.
Eagles and Mustangs.
An 18-yard scramble for Mason Rotelli on the left side, and it's a first down for Exeter.
Oh, what just a backbreaker for Governor Mifflin, too. You force a 2nd and 28, mostly by Exeter's own doing, that they had to walk it off 18 yards due to 2 penalties. But kudos to the Eagles. This is what a 4th-ranked team in the entire state looks like. They can turn the 2nd and 28 into a first down.
Takes the ball all the way inside Mustang territory to the 46. Rotelli's in the gun. Karstine behind him. Fakes the handoff, rolls right, looking right, tries to hit Zach Zandier on the right flat. It's too short. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
He did have Zandier coming across, just a drag route coming from the left-hand side. And he did have a step on his defender, just thrown a bit outside for him. So we'll bring up 2nd down.
Clock stopped, 8:46 to go here in the first. Beautiful night in Shillington, 73 degrees at kickoff. Exeter comes out, Rotelli's in the gun, Karstine sidecar right, 2 receivers right, 1 left. There's the snap. It's a quarterback draw. He tries to break, contain, get outside, and he's taken down
for a 1-yard gain.
At the 45. It's a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Well, that time they had
3rd and 9.
That time they had Schlaffer out there in the slot. They lined up Redding all the way to the outside to act as lead blockers for him. And unfortunately for Rotelli, Braden Reese following him all the way across the field and dragging him down for just a yard to gain.
3rd and 9. Exeter breaks the huddle. Rotelli in the gun. Karstine behind him. Joey Schlaffer comes to the near side wide out. 1 wide out, wide right. Here's the snap. It's a little off to the right. It's a draw. Rotelli tries to cut inside, running left, and his left foot goes out from under him, and he gets up limping.
Yeah, that time tackled by the turf monster. He's having a hard time getting up. I mean, he's up and walking off under his own power, but he is struggling. We'll see if he can walk that off by the next series.
So no gain on the play.
Exeter
will kick it away. Nathan Pashley back to boot it.
Number 7, Nathan Pashley.
Number 14, Reese Hole.
Flag down on the field. This one a short kick, bounces around the 24.
Rolls to about the 16-yard line. We'll check on that flag.
Yeah, it's back here around the 49-yard line.
Mustangs take over 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line.
Scanning the field after watching the punt and finally found it.
Trying to see what the stripes may be picking up here, and looks like it's going to be against Exeter. They're trying to figure out if they want to accept it, or I don't know if they have the option of tacking it on to the end of the run.
Which I believe is what they're going to do.
5 men in the backfield by the kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the succeeding spot. First down.
Moving up in the world, the referees actually have microphones at this game.
How about that? Nothing but the best here in Shillington.
We need that next.
I'll find a sponsor, Jerry.
All right, so Governor
Captain of the
Mifflin has
Mustangs,
the
first and
ball.
10 from their own 21.
Ball marked at the 21. It's 1st and 10. Delson McNeil will lead them at quarterback.
Delson McNeil, number 8, under center.
He's under center. Braden Reese in the backfield, 2 receivers right. Here's the snap. It's a handoff going left. Pushes hard, gets it out to about the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4 and 2nd and 6 upcoming.
Everybody with their hands down on the ground on that one to start. It's just power football. There's really not much to say other than that. It's the entire line, it's the entire backfield all moving in the same direction. They get 4 yards.
2nd and 6, ball mark
Braden Reese
just
on the carry,
outside
4
the
yards.
25. McNeil under center. Single setback, 2 receivers right. Here's a handoff to the right side. Not a whole lot there. Maybe gets a yard, and Exeter stacks him up. Joey Reedy
Reese on the carry.
at the bottom of that
Gains
pile.
3, 3rd and 3.
So give him 1, 3rd and 3 for the Mustangs. Ball marked at the 27.
It looks like they'll give him 3 yards on that one. And just a little dive play off between the guard and tackle, and that time Exeter prepared for it. 3rd down and short.
Quick hitters at the line of scrimmage. McNeil under center. Here's the snap. It's a quarterback draw, runs right. He'll get the 30 and a 1st down. Across the 31. That's where he needed the 1st down. They'll mark him beyond that. And Governor Mifflin has a
First
1st
down,
down.
Mustangs. McNeil on the keeper.
Yeah, just the quarterback keeper there that time. Again, looking at the same gap that they were the play before. And that time he gets the entire offensive line pushing, once again, kind of in the same direction. Just falls forward enough for the 1st down.
A lot of quick hitters. One of those not really taking too far of a drop in the backfield.
No, I mean, he's under center. You can see the running back no more than 2 yards behind him. As
McNeil caught in the backfield.
this time getting not much.
Number 42 for the Eagles.
Anthony Kachese blasts through on the left
52,
side.
check that.
Takes down McNeil for a 1-yard loss. Anthony Kachese, there was absolutely nowhere to go. Right at the snap, he's all over McNeil, trying
Kachese
to
with the
run
tackle.
right on that play. So call it 2nd 11, the ball at the 31-yard line for the Mustangs. McNeil under center, single setback, 2 receivers left. Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff. It's going to be a toss left, trying to get outside,
Outside.
but Nigel Meekins
Martin on the
shuts him
carry.
down.
Gain of a yard.
Well, that time just faking the dive play and instead pitching it out to Aiden Martin. Martin, the 5'11", $185 senior. Unfortunately, not coming down with anything. Well done. Again, we talked about Nigel Meekins being all over at that time. He read that perfectly. No gain on the play.
Marking the ball at the 33. It's 3rd and 9. Governor Mifflin comes out over the ball. McNeil in the gun, sidecar right, 2 receivers right. There's the snap. He's looking right, pulls it down, trying to run left. Jonathan Martin, one of the Exeter Eagles, there to greet him. A good 4 or 5 yards short of the 1st down.
McNeil on the carry.
And it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, that time an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long, and you can send as many Eagles as you want on that time. McNeil tries to step up into the pocket. Martin gave chase to him. He's able to gain 5 yards, but again, a big gang tackle there at the 38. Stuffs him on 3rd down.
Governor Mifflin punting it away.
Jenkins
Nathan
to punt for the
Pashley
Mustangs.
back to get it for Exeter. Here's the punt. Flag comes out on the play. Nice kick.
Beautiful
Fair
banner.
catch. Pashley makes it at the 20.
Jenkins punt.
And we'll check the flag.
Fair caught at the Eagle 20-yard line.
A nice punt by LSI Dragon. Nope, I'm going to check that. Travis Jenkins, a 5'9" sophomore.
Let's see, they just keep walking it. Sticking it at the 20. They're going to swap footballs, apparently.
Haven't seen anything as far as the call, but here it comes.
There is no flag on the play.
And the flag is picked up. So Exeter will start 1st and 10 on their own 20. 3:22 to go here in the first. A scoreless first.
Kelly back out there at quarterback.
20-yard line.
That's a good sign.
Rub some dirt on it or whatever they have here at the turf field.
Ritelli's in the gun.
Looks like Redding behind him.
Here's the handoff. Redding running left. Not a whole lot of room. Barely gets over the 20-yard line.
Number 3,
That was Carson
Jones.
Well, I was
First in
looking.
with the
I
tackle.
couldn't tell if it was a 5
Gain of
or
a
a
yard.
6 from the vantage point that we had, which is why I didn't say anything.
Yeah, we talk about how everything bunches up down there at the bottom, and
Right.
it doesn't help us much.
That's right. And we have a motion sensor right above us, which is going to really make it fun the rest of the night.
It's like our own personal disco up here.
So Exeter comes out of the huddle. It's 2nd and I'm going to say 9. Ritelli has the snap. It's a lateral to Redding. He's trying to run off the left side. No, it's not. It's Karstine.
56 for the Mustangs.
Give him 3 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 7, marking the ball at the 24-yard line.
55
Gavin
for the
Kelly
Mustangs.
coming off.
Tackle.
Clayton Reynolds in on the tackle as well. And about 3 Mustangs there to greet him. 3rd and 6. World's kind of your oyster here if you're the Exeter Eagles.
So Exeter, Ritelli in the gun, Karstine behind him, Schlaffer left, Redding right. Ritelli rolling right, fires it, hits
Oh, what a
Zach
great
Zandier
pass.
at the 40-yard line. It'll be a
Pass is
first down
complete.
for Exeter as he falls out to the
Number 88.
43.
It looks like they will mark him at the 43 as well. A 19-yard pass play
Zandier.
to Zandier.
First down, Eagle.
That time Rotelli
On
faking the
their own
handoff, rolling out, has somebody breathing
43-yard
down his
line.
neck. He's able to fire it over top of the linebacker, who was only a couple yards shy of Zandier, just fires it right over top of his head, picked out of the air, and a 19-yard gain.
1st and 10 Exeter, ball on their own 43. Ritelli in the gun. There's the snap. Hands it off to Karstine, who's running just off the right side. He'll get the 45, stretches the ball out a little bit, and let's see where they'll mark it. They're going to give him
halfway.
That's right. They're going to give him the 48. Call it a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Eagles.
We saw this last week, too, that Karstine needed a bit of steam to get rolling. He didn't do much in the first quarter, as you remember. He only
Ready
had a
on the
handful
carry.
of yards, a handful of
Gain of
carries.
5.
Wasn't looking very effective, and then he started rolling towards the end of the game. We're starting to see that a little bit here.
Karstine over the left side gets the 50. He'll end up about a yard shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1, marking the ball
Ready
on
on
the
the carry.
Mustang 48.
We're just rolling here towards the end of the first quarter. Hard to believe. It's one possession apiece for each side. Exeter on their second. They'll get one more
Turner
play
with the
off here
tackle.
before the end of the quarter.
3rd and 1.
Exeter over the ball. Ritelli in the gun, sidecar Karstine to the left. He takes the snap, running left. There's a big hole. He's grabbed, still on his feet, down to the 36-yard line. It'll be a first down
the
for
Eagles.
Exeter.
On the keeper. Ritelli.
Nice run. Mason Ritelli over
50
the left
for the
side.
Mustangs. Clayton Reynolds.
The offensive line starting to assert themselves.
And that time again, you get down to a 3rd and 1 situation. You can run practically anything out of the playbook because on the 48, you're probably going for it again. So you can either take a shot down the field if you want to, or in this case, quarterback keeper gets enough for the first down. Exeter rolling here going into the second quarter.
We are winding down. And there it is, the end of the first quarter. It's scoreless here in Shillington.
Reminder to fans of the
We'll be
concession
back with
stands
Ryan
located
and
at
second
the
quarter
scoreboard
action.
end of
You're
the field.
listening to the Exeter Sports Network
With
on
the
Jerry
boosters
Gelliff Media.
and the Governor Mifflin Band-Aids,
Disco.
offering quite a variety of food for you this evening. Stop by and visit the band food truck. You will not be disappointed.
That's debatable. Flipping sides of the field now and flipping play-by-play guys too. Rotelli in the gun, Karstein next to him. Rotelli stepping back, looking, flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his right. He's at the 40, throwing to the sideline. That one knocked away. He was aiming for Carter Redding. And that one incomplete on first down. One of the first true passing plays that we've actually seen here from the Eagles.
Chase
As
Rapp.
Rotelli that time had plenty of time in the pocket, heading towards the sideline. Had
Mustang.
he looked a little earlier,
36-yard line.
Zandier had a few steps on the right side around the 20-yard line. Had he been able to loft that one up there, it would have been 6 for Exeter.
Rotelli 2 for 4 for 26 yards. Just the two completions to Schlaffer and Zandier. Schlaffer in motion now, coming into the slot on the right-hand side. Karstein lined up to the right of Rotelli. Rotelli this time a little quarterback draw. He's across the 30, 25, inside,
on the right side.
just shy of the 20. And a nice job
First
there.
down,
Once
Eagles.
again, fantastic blocking by the Eagles.
Governor Mifflin head coach Jeff Lang really visibly upset on the sideline, looking for a hold on Exeter on the left side. Didn't get the flag, but he's letting him know about it.
So Rotelli, another 12-yard gain. He's got 50 yards on 6 carries so far. Lining up on the far right hash mark. You have Choi out to the left, Schlaffer once again in the slot. Karstein to the right, Redding to the far right. This time Rotelli, just a little zip over to Schlaffer. He's going to get the first
Complete
down.
to Schlaffer.
They're just like, hey, if you're going to play that far off the
First
Schlaffer,
down.
we'll just throw a little screen pass out there, pick up
Eagles
the first down,
Martin.
and thank you very much.
And there's the speed of
tackle.
Joey Schlaffer on the left flat. Gets the ball probably about 3 yards and able to just outrun the defense to the sideline, getting that first down.
And they're going to mark it 2nd and 1. No, it's a first
They
down.
moved the chains,
They're
yep.
waiting for the scoreboard here. So with that, Joey Schlaffer tying the Exeter record of receptions with 95 in his career. With Alex Javier set back in 2019. This time, handoff to Karstein. Karstein jets over to his left-hand side, picks up a few.
Here's where Exeter's offensive line starting to wear down Governor Mifflin, just taking control wherever they want to run the football, whether it's Rotelli,
Richie
whether
Karsten.
it's Karstein,
Carry, gain of 4.
pretty much having their way with him right now.
Karstein now 20 yards on 7 carries. But again, he's that kind of running back that grinds you down over the entire course of the game. Full back in here.
Hasn't gotten it clean, and of course when that doesn't happen, it's going to break apart some continuity on the offense.
We saw it on about 3 straight plays there in the first quarter that he was just really struggling. And again, it wasn't that he was jumping for it, that was over his head that he was struggling to get it. It's right about helmet level. So I'm not sure if he's having some visibility issues or what the case is. It's not a terrible snap. There again, he just waits for it, hand off to Karstein. Karstein off left tackle. He's going to get the first down, I believe. And it's going to be awfully close if he didn't.
Good speed. He was sniffing the end zone there, running left, running downhill as Richie Karstein does.
Fourth
They
down.
do manage to get him out of bounds.
And it is going to be just short by about a yard, so an 11-yard gain for Karstein. Naturally, they will
Karsten the
go
ball
for it
carrier,
here.
4th down and 1.
4th and 1 on the 5.
Mustang.
Obviously can pick up a first down
5
here
yard line.
without scoring.
Big play early in the game here for Exeter.
This time Redding going off left tackle. He has a wide open lane to the end zone. Touchdown Exeter.
Touchdown.
Rotelli the
left
touchdown.
side.
And Exeter's on the board. It's 6-0.
Nice job, the fake to Karstein. Of course, everybody sucking in the middle to try to block the big guy. Opening up the door for Rotelli, bouncing it outside to the left, crosses the goal line, and at the 9:40 mark, 6-0 Exeter.
Well, it's just the Karstein and Rotelli show right now. Those two accounting for 80 yards of offense on the ground. Not even taking a look at what Rotelli's done through the air with his 3 completions. Zandier set up for the extra point. They're going to fake it. Redding going out to his left. He's at the 5, and he's in for the score.
He's good. Number 5
Tech
on the
on
left
2
side.
points.
Carter
And it's
Redding.
8-0 in favor of Exeter.
And that did not appear to be scripted. The snap was a little high and to the outside, and he pulled it down immediately and just started running with it. Again, some challenges with the snaps all game thus far. They're going to have to figure that one out.
9:40 remaining here in the second quarter. Exeter the first on the board, 8-0. It'll be Mustang football when we return here on the Exeter Sports Network. That time, Mason Rotelli taking it in from 5, a little squib kick. That one taken in and just diving on. Please stop blowing whistles. Not sure if that was affecting any kind of play on the field. Once again, that quick hitter going off the left side this time.
Reese carrying tackles with
a
him.
handful of yards.
Brandon Jones over
Following
the
the
left
block,
side.
number 50, Clayton Reynolds.
Not a whole lot there, but he'll manage to
Jones
get
carrying
5
tight.
out of it. 2nd and 5.
Just enough. As Jones able to get 5 yards.
A good push there. Exeter seemed to have him after maybe 2, possibly 3, but he was able to churn away for a couple more.
Clock ticking down towards 9 minutes remaining here in the second. 8-0 Exeter. Governor Mifflin, their first chance to respond here after the Eagle touchdown, and this one blown dead. And you can only imagine that means. Probably means that we're walking back about 15 feet.
Dead ball. Encroachment.
No.
On the
I
defense.
think Anthony
5 yard
Kachese,
penalty.
Anthony
Remains first down.
Kachese went on a snap, jumped a little early, but I didn't know it's one of those, did the offensive lineman draw him off? Apparently not.
First down, Mustangs.
Are going to move the chains. 2nd and 5. Said it remains first down, but it's 2nd down. Now it's first down. Take it on the 44-yard line. Once again, quick hitter going off that left tackle again. He'll just be shy of midfield.
Reese,
The 49 falls
5
Reese.
yards.
And that's the Mustangs' game plan tonight. A lot of quick hitters trying to take the aggression out of the Exeter defense. And so far, they're able to pick up 5-yard chunks at a time.
Reese in the backfield. McNeil under center. 2 wide receivers split out wide to the right. This time they'll try to go to the right side. They're going to be just shy, fighting for the first down. He's going to land about 1.5 yards short was Reese.
Braden Reese.
Miles
Shy
Brandt
of the
there
first
on
down,
the
3rd and 1.
right side does a nice job hitting him, bringing him down in the open field, waiting for some help, but nice job, Miles Brandt.
Reese steady as he goes here in the
Plans in on the tackle.
handful of
Third
carries
down.
for him. 16 yards on 4 touches. Just a 3rd down and 1. See if the Exeter Eagles can hold here on 3rd and short. I'd be surprised to see a keeper. No, it's just going to be right back to Reese. Reese nearly breaking it. Gets out to the 40, and it's a 1st down for the Mustangs.
Just gets tripped up on the
47.
right-hand side. He had a lot of green in front of him.
Reese
If he's
for the
able
first
to
down
keep
in
his
Eagles
feet.
territory. The 41-yard
Oh, yeah,
line.
if he didn't get tripped up, he was off to the races. That one just very lucky to get the shoelace tackle in. The 1st down on the 41-yard line.
The Eagles having a hard time with those quick hitters.
They're just plowing open enough of a gap for Reese to fight through. This time a keeper by McNeil. He's thrown outside and out of bounds by Martin, but a flag on the field. We'll see if this one ends up being on Jonathan Martin.
Or if it could be the hold on the end. We'll see which one they're going to call.
We're going to get together, and it looks like it might be either a face mask or a horse collar. But then again, they're on the opposite side of the field, and I can't see very well.
Yep.
It's going to be a face mask
No,
against Mifflin.
Up against Mifflin. That is a surprise, yeah.
That's saucy. So they'll end up walking the Mustangs back.
One of those, you see the end of the play and you're making the assumption that Jonathan Martin was going to be the culprit, and sure enough, otherwise.
Unless he's trying to say that it was on
Personal
McNeil
foul.
getting a piece of
Face mask
Martin's
on the quarterback.
mask. Yeah,
There you
that's
have
exactly what it
15-yard
was.
penalty from the end of the run. 1st down.
So McNeil called for the 15-yard penalty on the end of the run. So they'll walk it all the way back to the 45-yard line. So they'll take away that small gain. It'll be 1st down and 23. So they'll mark it as a gain of 2 for McNeil and a 15-yard loss on the face mask. And Mifflin almost looks like victory formation when they line up here. Certainly it's not. So this time McNeil, quarterback keeper, ends up pitching it out wide and take it down in the backfield. Well
On the
done.
left side for a yard or two.
See who
Nigel
it was.
Meekins.
It was Meekins. He fell down right here in front of the Mifflin bench and couldn't see him.
6, Aiden Martin.
But Meekins once again not fooled. That's the 2nd time today on that pitch play that he has not been fooled.
Great job by the Exeter defense. Somebody covered the QB, somebody covered the running back. Ultimately trying to pitch it. Nothing there. Nice job, Nigel Meekins.
But Martin that time, his 2nd touch for 4 yards. Gets 2. It's 2nd down and 21. This time Reese in the backfield with McNeil. They're going to toss it out. First pass play.
And
one,
that's
should be
a
live
lateral.
ball.
That was a lateral. If Nigel
Pass
Meekins
ball's
was
incomplete.
aware of it, he should have picked that ball up.
It sounded like they were blowing it dead, but that was behind the receiver.
It absolutely was.
Yeah, Mifflin very lucky there. That one thrown a full yard behind the receiver. He had the man in motion and threw it right over the top of him. If he would have pulled it in, it would have been a la Willie Mays. But not that lucky.
I don't think any of the officials were in a
I
position
don't
to
think
be able
so.
to call it, which is why they blew it dead right away.
And we're standing at about the 40, 45-yard line of the opposite side of the field here. And even we can see that one. So it'll be 3rd down and 21. Obvious passing situation. Once again, they'll throw it back against the grain. First completion here is to Harder. Harder's across midfield. He's at the 40. He's going to end up shy of the 1st down as they needed forever to go.
Aiden
They'll get it down to
Harder.
about the 36-yard line. That'll be a gain of
Makes the
about
screen pass.
17.
Nice setup there.
Brings up a
Everybody,
4th
the
down.
motion was moving right. They bring it back all the way to the left. And some good speed there on the corner gets it down into Eagle territory. Ball marked at the 37. 5 minutes to
6
go
for the
here in the second.
Eagle 37.
4th and 5 on the 37. They get down to the 32. Likely a passing play here, but don't be surprised if McNeil tries to keep it. There's a lot of players over there on the right-hand side. He's going to roll to his right. He's going to toss it. Double covered, and Pashley knocks it away. Looking for Martin. Well done by Pashley.
Nice play. Martin actually had some
7.
steps that
Pashley on
if
defense.
McNeil
Ball
gets
goes
that
over to
ball
the
out
Eagles, first
maybe a
and
little
10.
sooner, they've
From
got
around
6.
37-yard
But
line.
Pashley, nice adjustment, knocking it away. Turnover on downs.
It looks like he had it mostly the entire way. There was a small window in there of about 5 yards between both players. But again, that one just hanging up a little bit. Pashley, well done to follow it the entire way. So Eagles will trot out here, 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line.
Pashley could be our defensive player of the game, sponsored by Sneaker Villa.
We do have those now.
Timeout. Governor Mifflin.
So Mifflin will take a timeout. So will we. Exeter on top here, 8-0 in the early going, 4:42 remaining. When we come back, it'll be Eagles football when we return on the Exeter Sports Network. Back here in Shillington, 8-0 in favor of Exeter with 4:42 left to play here in the first half. This first half just flying by. Rotelli lined up in the gun. That one a much better snap. He's going to hand it off. That one going across. Now back to the line of scrimmage. Now across the 45, 40, 50, 45. Flag thrown at the end of the play.
Carter Cordora, a 5'9", 175 senior.
Around the left side.
That is quite
For
literally a name that we
17 yards.
have not called this entire season. Like, who is number 15? And there it is.
Nice speed on the left-hand side, nothing inside, bounces it out.
Cordora on the carry.
Crosses midfield, a late flag, and we'll see what happens.
After discussion, there was no flag on the play.
And they pick it up for the second time in the game.
I'm not quite sure what it would have been. Unless it was a late hit out of bounds or whatever the case was, but instead it's going to be first down Exeter.
In Mustang territory, 1st and 10 Eagles.
Well, I don't know
at
Joe,
the
but I'm sure that he was.
47-yard line.
And while we wind down, I'm going to wish a quick happy birthday to Tad Kidwell. He's a drummer for the Exeter band. Hey, Tad, happy birthday.
Another high snap. He'll hand it off to Cadora again. This time he only gets a few. Gets up to, I'll mark it just shy. About the 45
Mustangs up quickly to the
yard
tackle.
line.
3 Jones. In first with a hit, no gain of 2.
Gain of 2 here for Exeter. And they'll keep him out there.
Interesting, nice change of pace back here.
Yeah, they pulled Karstein out. Karstein with 8 touches here in the early goings for 31 yards. This time, Rotelli dropping back, flushed out, throws it low to Zandier at around the 40.
Rotelli's pass falls
Low and
incomplete,
behind
third
it.
down.
It would have been a circus catch if Zandier could have gotten a hold of it. Instead, it'll bring up 3rd down and 8. And another passing situation here for the Eagles.
Number 66. Of course, he's not on my Governor Mifflin list. Maybe he is yours. But he was the one providing pressure. Rotelli had to get rid of it.
That seems to be a weekly occurrence here, that we're somehow missing players off of the jersey number roster provided for us. Instead, it looks like Matt Bauer will take a timeout.
Timeout.
Eagles.
On 3rd and 8, an
It's their
important
first.
3rd and 8 at that. It'll be Eagles football. Looking to convert
Reminder
here
to
with
fans,
3:52
restrooms are
remaining.
located in the
8-0 in
scoreboard
favor of
area.
Exeter
Also,
when we return here on the
concession
Exeter
stands.
Sports Network. Again, 3:52 left to play here in the first half. 8-0 in favor of Exeter. A barn burner this is not. And they will line up with the fullback here on the right side. Reading in motion from right to left. A pitch play, and they're going to chuck it down the field. They have Carter Reading at the 30. 25-20. Just shy of the 15-yard line. Joey Schlaffer taking the toss.
First down in Mustangs.
That's what they needed the timeout for.
That's right. They went power formation. Brandt to the right sidecar. Joey Schlaffer deep. They pitch it running right. Carter Reading releases. Nobody picks him up, and Schlaffer hits him.
So a 29-yard pass play. Schlaffer completes it to Reading. But again, just a well-designed play. You throw in the fullback, confuse the defense a little bit, saying they're not going to run off the right side on 3rd down and 8. But no, it's just an extra blocker for Schlaffer. Give him enough time to spring Reading for a gain of 29.
Karstein back in at running back.
Well, and as you do, it's on the 16-yard line.
Timeout.
Eagles timeout.
Exeter will
Their
take a little
second
bit more
timeout.
time. Jerry says we're going to stay here. Though I will say I do like the new Birdies In ad. I'm not sure if you wrote the tagline at the end of it, but
Of course I did.
very clever.
That's there. I was just there this week. Mine was in from Bermuda.
I do recall this from last week.
Yeah, and he said, I want to go somewhere local. Take me to like a chain place.
He said, I want to experience Berks County. So where'd you take him? Birdies.
Birdies.
That's right.
Could have taken him to West Reading. Could have taken him to any number of chain restaurants in Exeter Township.
We chose Birdies.
But you took.
Because,
It's not a chain restaurant?
nope, because Birdies is the best.
Well, that's not what the tagline is.
There's always something new with the old beer.
There you go. 1st and 10 on the 16. Handoff is to Karstein. Karstein just plowing right up the middle, taking some defenders with him. He's inside the 10. Helmet's rolling. It'll still be 2nd down. Looks like he'll get about 7 on the run. So Karstein now 9 touches for 38 yards.
Marking him inside the 10, probably the 9-yard
Second
line.
down, ball on
Is that the
the
nine?
Mustang 9-yard line.
So Exeter playing the clock here a little bit too, content to let it run with just about 3 minutes to play here. They can kind of take their time, give Mifflin the ball back with very little left.
Schlaffer deep.
This time, toss play to Schlaffer. Schlaffer makes one man miss. He's into the corner of the end zone. He's
Stretches
reaching
and he's
across.
in.
Joey
Touchdown,
Schlaffer
Eagles.
needing all of that 6'6" frame to stretch across the pylon. And it's 14-0 in favor of Exeter.
There you go. Using the speed of Joey Schlaffer deep in the backfield, he's able to bounce it outside. He gets inside the 1, not to be denied, stretches it across the goal line for the Exeter touchdown.
Well, it's just no-brainer football when it comes to Exeter. You have Joey Schlaffer, a Penn State commit. You put the ball in your best player's hands and let him make something happen. And in that time, 9 yards out, you do the little toss play to Schlaffer. He's 6'6", needed all of it to get across the pylon, and you have a 14-0 lead. This one low, snap. Zandier's kick is true.
Xander's kick is good.
15-0 Exeter on top with 2:52 remaining. What did I say about draining the clock? Who cares? You got a touchdown out of it. 2-score lead for Exeter and Mustang football when we return here on the Exeter Sports Network. .252 left here in the second quarter. 15-0 in favor of your Exeter Eagles. As Zandier lines up at the 40. Once again, a little pooch kick. That one jumping up around the 35. They'll get it up to about the 40. And a nice form tackle there by Ashley.
Mayo.
As Mayo takes it in, gets about
Picks
5
up
yards on the
after
return. So
covering the
decent field
kickoff.
position here for the Mustangs. They'll have a chance to put some points on the board. And if they do, it would be the first points against this Exeter first-team defense. They'll have 2:49 to do it.
Exeter continuing the trend to keep the ball away from the deep guys on the kickoffs. A little bit of field
First and 10
position,
Mustangs
knowing
at
that
their
your
own 40-yard
defense
line.
can take charge, take control.
So by my count, just 57 yards of total offense here for Governor Mifflin to start. This time they'll throw. McNeil looking, pocket collapses, he's rolling out. He's looking, firing, has a man at the 45 across midfield. Well, they'll tack some yardage on there.
20 yards.
There's a nice 20-yard pickup there by McNeil to Chase Huber,
Chase
a
Huber
5'10"
for the
junior
reception.
running back.
In Eagles territory. First and
Yeah,
10.
one of those where Exeter got good pressure on the QB. He's able to roll out to the right. A little breakdown in the secondary when you have to scramble like that, and he's able to hit Huber for the first down.
Well, that time just doing the little point as he's rolling, showing that running back exactly where he needs it to go. This time almost a draw play drawn up there. That'll be number 4, Tynan Harder, a 5'8" senior running back, as they're starting to pull everybody out here. Some names that we haven't called this entire first
for
half.
10 and a first down.
Giving Exeter some different looks that they haven't seen so far.
So what did I say? 57 yards to start here just in the past 2 plays. Clock ticking down to about 2 minutes remaining. This time McNeil rolling to his left. This one will be blown dead. We'll see who it's on. We've had it both ways here tonight in the first half. Both encroachment and false starts.
Prior to snap, false start.
And this one's the false
Offense,
start.
Number 59, 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, I will say it's hard enough when you're in college. You're, of course, in the pros. They call your number out. Man, in high school, you must
First and
feel
15
about
for the
2
Mustangs at
inches
their
when they call
Eagle
your number
35-yard
out because
line.
you were the one that were offside. Or,
Well, and we'll give some love to Michael Ford because that's who that one was against. Sorry if Mr. and Mrs. Ford are listening here tonight. We'll make it 1st and 15, clock rolling, inside 2 minutes.
the Eagles have Joey Schlaffer in at one of the tackles on defense.
This time just rolling back, and it looks like there should be a hold. They won't get one. Is that
And look at
Kachese on the play? Probably about a loss of 3 on the sack. That's just Kachese doing Kachese things.
We talked about this after I interviewed him last week, where it literally was that Looney Tunes character where I'm looking up at him. He probably could have taken one fist, put it into my head, and I would have been about 3 feet under the ground. So no doubt showing his prowess there, just one arm, the strength that he has just to yank him out of bounds.
And just to confirm, Darren is a grown man.
I appreciate
Kachese
that.
is about 18 years old.
Yeah.
This one dropping back, throwing down the seam.
Picked
It's
off!
intercepted! Picked off at the 20, coming across the 30, 35. Trying to make some people miss. That's
Yes,
Ashley intercepting. Came up with a big stop down there on 4th down, and this one he ends the drive early. Looked like they had him down the seam, and Pashley says, I don't think so. 2nd and 19, obvious passing play. Picks it off with 1:25 left. That was 2nd and 19. That's what I was going with.
Pashley doing a great job in the secondary, breaking up an earlier pass headed for the end zone on the far right side. Now doing a great job playing center field, just back there reading the QB's eyes. Steps in front, picks it off.
Exeter with 1 timeout left. They have a $1.25. We'll see if they can make some things happen. They've been known to do it. And we're going to have some early movement here.
Now I'm going to suggest that this is going to be against Governor Mifflin because they're going to walk off against Exeter.
It is going to be a false start.
Offense.
It could have
5-yard
been Joey
penalty,
Schlaffer.
First down.
I love the referee here on the near side. He's late to the game, but he feels like he needs to throw the laundry anyway. Now he's going to pick it up.
Well,
good,
that's
good
where
for him. Good for him being engaged.
Yeah, that's where if they review tape, you want to make sure you're being a part of it as well.
Looks like they're just going to run the same play, and again a We'll see if this one's. Yeah, it's another flag.
Prior to snap.
Brant.
Full start. Offense. Number 65, number 75. 5-yard penalty.
Looked like
Remains
Brant could
first
have left
down.
early as well, but
Yeah,
two offensive linemen.
Well, thankfully, it's just a 5-yard penalty. You don't get penalized for both.
However, the second penalty, so if you are hoping to be able to drive the field in the final
Eagles
minute,
first and 20.
making it obviously a little bit tougher.
Schlaffer going
From
over
around
to the
29.
sideline. Looks like he'll run it in. He'll be lined up out here on the near side.
You know, if you're the defensive back and you know Joey Schlaffer's on the other side, it's one of those, uh-oh.
Well, you have Schlaffer and Zandier. Zandier with his hand down along the line. This one, Rotelli rolling out, and another
And
flag.
this is going to be Schlaffer jumping early. Moving upfield just a little bit too soon.
Back to 2. Again, prior to snap. Full start.
Oh, the referee got
Number
jokes.
11. 5-yard penalty.
We'll throw a headset
First
on
down.
him here for the second half. He can join in. The third straight false start. And Exeter, how about we do something simple here?
I wonder if the referee is an official for the Savannah Bananas baseball team.
This one, they're going to hand off to Karstein. Karstein with some running room. He's across the 30, finally wrapped up around the 32. He'll get rolled, looks like inbounds because the clock's still running.
Karsten on the
Exeter
carry.
not interested in taking a timeout here, but they will run in a play.
6
I would
Martin with
imagine
the
now,
tackle.
with all of that marked off, they will just run a final play here. Karstein in the backfield with Rotelli. They're just going to hand it off to Karstein. Karstein taken down around the 35, and that will probably be about all she wrote here for the first half.
Jones in on the tackle over the right side of the line.
We'll see if they hold up until starting the 40-second clock. It looks like they have.
Looks like they'll bring in a play from Rotelli. And there's no harm here in just taking a shot on 3rd and 15. We've seen what they can do against Daniel Boone in the first game, where they took that shot right at the buzzer. And a fumble here by Exeter. Maybe playing with a little bit of fire. It looks like Exeter will jump back on top of it. Oh no, they're going to give it to Mifflin.
Wow.
9.7 seconds left. Oh yeah, playing with fire indeed, as this time it comes back to bite them.
Looked like that play was a little rushed to start. I don't know if Karstein came out of the break a little soon, but obviously not a clean handoff. He never had the ball.
Please put 10.4 on the game
They'll add
clock.
0.7 of a second back onto the game clock here. I have no idea.
Was going to be something I was going to suggest.
Not a full
Thank
second,
you.
0.7.
Apparently he is a basketball referee as well.
And he's very polite.
And well versed in it, yes.
So now Mifflin, they have 2 timeouts, so they can take 2 shots here if they want to. McNeil dropping back. He'll toss it out and over his wide receiver's head. He was aiming for Tynan Harder again, but Harder only 5'8", a full 10 inches shorter than Joey Schlaffer, and he needed a bit more than that to make that catch. But 5.9 seconds.
Exeter's defense not allowing McNeil to sit back there and pick anybody out either. Flushing him out of the pocket, he had to roll right. Tried to find him, threw it too high, 2nd down.
McNeil just 2 of 6 for 20 yards. Or sorry, make that 37 yards. Forgot to add. This should be the final play of the half. McNeil dropping back, looking. He's going to chuck it down the field. Double covered again. Catch is made, but it looks like he's going to be shy.
Wow. Wow, knocked out of bounds inside the 1-yard line.
Mifflin thrilled about it.
Expires.
Mifflin looking for more time on the clock. Exeter running off the field.
Wow.
And the referees just absolutely no idea. They're going to get together here.
Well, the official,
and talk.
The official is pretty adamant. He comes walking up on the 1-yard line. or just
Ruling on
inside.
the field. Runner was down at the 1 yard line as time expired.
Mustangs not thrilled about that, but he was out of bounds, and it was as time expired. So regardless of whether there should be time put up on the clock or not, Matt Bauer's team got the hell off the field and said, nope, we got the result that we wanted. We're going to the locker room. Thank you very much. We're leading 15-0. And Exeter got a yard shy from allowing their first points of the entire season here at first team defense. But instead, 15-0.
That number.
Exeter at the half. We will take a break, show some love to our sponsors, and be back to recap that first half right here on the Exeter Sports Network.
324870 3248